2. Gary Levine. Is that correct, sir?
That is.
All right, comedy extraordinary. You guys ready to rock? You guys ready to laugh? Say yeah. Yeah! And you guys ready to go through some gut-busting, side-splitting, take your head off and let it rest over at the side comedy? Say yeah!
This build-up is a little too much.
Very nice. He doesn't like to be locked in.
1, 2, 1, 2. We got it. Wow. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm just getting into comedy. And the reason I'm starting comedy now is because when I turned 60, I started whining. Now, I know it's hard for you to believe that an older Jewish guy would complain about anything. But it's true. I told my wife that I was bored and I needed a change. So she gave me a choice. She said I could try comedy or I could go out and have an affair. But that would be no joke. So that's why I'm here tonight. And I'm hoping that comedy is better than sex. Now, back in 2008, I ran for political office. And I wanted a campaign theme song that reflected drive and energy. My campaign manager said she had the perfect song. So I finished a rousing speech in front of a packed room of 3 people. It was a very small room. And my music comes on. Driving that train, high on cocaine. Now, clearly, I needed a new song. So I picked Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood? In your neighborhood, right? Sesame Street, can't miss, slam dunk. It's about community. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. Well, it turns out that my opponent was actually an heir to one of the founders of Sesame Street. So that every time I played that song, I had to pay him a royalty. And I single-handedly paid for my opponent's entire campaign against me. Besides that, I was the only candidate in favor of global warming. My parents own a house about a mile from the ocean. And I'm hoping that by the time I inherit, beachfront. Now, we all have teachers that impacted us during our lifetime that we remember fondly. Well, mine was in the paper not too long ago. And this is an actual newspaper clipping. I don't know if you can see it. It says, Cannibal Fentress, up for release from Psych Center. Now, despite the fact that Al Fentress was a killer and a cannibal, he was an excellent teacher. He would make history come alive. He would dress up in period pieces. When we studied Russian history, he'd come dressed up as a Cossack. When he taught French history, he would come dressed as a musketeer. And then one day, he came dressed up as Hannibal Lecter. And the rest was history. Now, in real life, I'm an attorney. And Al Fentress called me to represent him in this upcoming hearing. And I told him, Al, if you want me to represent you, you have to change your tactics. You can't tell people that you're cured. You have to tell them that you're a vegetarian. I had my birthday a couple of weeks ago. 62, thank you very much. And we finished this huge birthday dinner. I was stuffed. You know that kind of distended stuff where your stomach is hanging out over your pants and you can't. So my wife presented me with her gift. It was a ratchet belt. You know, the kind of belt that interlocks instead of buckles. So I tried it on. I loved it. I couldn't get it off. I kept pulling on it, hoping that it would somehow unlock. But the thing with ratchet belts is the more you pull on it, the tighter it gets. I kept pulling. It got tighter and tighter. It got so tight that I couldn't finish my birthday cake. So it was obviously a broken belt. I wanted to send it back, but I didn't fit in the box. So we called the locksmith. He got my pants off, but not the belt. So that night, my wife and I went to bed, and suddenly she grabs the belt, puts on a cowboy hat, and rides me like a mechanical bull at the county fair. That belt was the best birthday present ever. My son got me a Fitbit. You know those expensive watches that monitor your daily activities? It was very thoughtful. I returned it.
Right.
I just don't need a watch telling me that I eat too much, sleep too little, and I don't get enough exercise. That's what my wife is for. So one morning, I'm getting dressed, and I groan. She yells, "Are you all right?" I said, "Yes, I'm just trying to put my socks on over my belly." She yells, "Lose some weight, and you can put them on your feet where they belong." It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and my wife got into a cleaning frenzy. I said to her, "You want to go out and get some exercise?" She just glared at me. She said, "What do you think this is?" I said, "You know, you're right. I'm exhausted just watching you." So I turned to leave. She handed me a mop and a pail and said, "Go get some exercise." See, she's better than a Fitbit. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes.
All right.